Why your Great Pyrenees doesn't listen and why that's normal. In this video, I'm going to explain why your Great Pyrenees doesn't listen and why that's often normal, and how to tell the difference between a dog that's thinking and a dog that's actually failing. The biggest mistake people make with Great Pyrenees is expecting them to behave like pets. Pets are bred to look to humans. Pets are bred to wait for instruction. Great Pyrenees were bred for the opposite. They were bred to work without supervision, without commands, without permission. For hundreds of years, these dogs were left alone with livestock for entire nights, sometimes weeks, making decisions without humans anywhere nearby. So when a Pyrenees pauses or doesn't respond instantly, or chooses a position instead of coming to you, that's not defiance, that's the design. Here's something most owners never consider. There are two reasons a dog doesn't respond. One is disobedience, the other is evaluation. Disobedience is random, evaluation is deliberate. A Great Pyrenees often hears you and then chooses not to move yet. Why? Because movement has consequences. When a Pyrenees moves, it gives up position, it creates noise, it shifts pressure in the environment. So instead of reacting instantly, the dog pauses, not because it's confused, but because it's asking a different question. Does this matter more than where I am right now? That pause is judgment. People love fast responses. They love dogs that snap to attention. They sprint over instantly. They react on command. That feels impressive, but for a guardian dog, speed often replaces thinking. A Pyrenees that responds instantly to every cue is usually over-handler focused, dependent on direction, and less aware of the environment. That dog might listen well, but when pressure shows up, predators, movement, uncertainty, it often hesitates because it's waiting for instruction that never comes. Now, this part matters. Not listening isn't always good. There's a difference between independent judgment and disengagement. That's how you tell the difference. A healthy Pyrenees that doesn't listen maintains position near livestock, repositions intentionally, responds when something meaningful happens. A Pyrenees that's drifting or failing avoids responsibility, chooses comfort over placement, ignores livestock distress, sleeps away from the animals. That's not independence, that's loss of clarity. Most people accidentally weaken their Pyrenees by rewarding the wrong things. They praise following, checking in, eye contact, and constant responsiveness. All things that feel good to humans, but every time you reward those behaviors, you pull attention away from livestock. Over time, the dog learns, my job is staying connected to people, and that's when protection starts breaking down, quietly. This dog follows you constantly, leaves livestock when you move, sleeps near buildings, repositions only after cues. It feels loyal. But loyalty to people is not protection. Protection requires independence, stillness, delayed response, confidence without approval. The dog that listens too well is often the one that fails first. You don't fix this with more commands, you fix it with clarity. That means reinforcing livestock proximity, limiting unnecessary human interactions, and allowing quiet decision-making. Correct this failure early, calmly, and consistently. Guidance, not obedience. Boundaries, not micromanagement. So if your Great Pyrenees doesn't listen the way other dogs do, that might not be a problem. It might be the reason nothing has gone wrong. The question isn't, why doesn't my dog listen? The question is, what is my dog listening to instead? Because a real guardian isn't tuned into your voice, it's It's tuned into pressure, and that's exactly how it was meant to be. Selective hearing isn't a flaw, it's prioritization. A working Pyrenees is constantly filtering wind versus threat, familiar scent versus intrusion, normal movement versus pressure. When you call your dog and it doesn't move, it may be because nothing more important than its current position exists. Leaving that position would create a gap, and gaps are how predators win. Predators don't test strength first, they test patterns. A dog that responds instantly teaches predators where it moves, how fast it reacts, what pulls it away. Coyotes, wolves, and large cats don't rush in, they wait. They learn that the dog leaves when humans appear. They learn that movement creates opportunity. A Pyrenees that ignores non-essential cues is harder to read, and an unreadable dog doesn't get challenged as often as a readable one. During the day, everything feels controlled. You're present, you're moving, you're correcting, you're reinforcing. So the dog looks perfect. But nighttime reveals the truth. At night, there are no commands, no reassurance, no human pressure. A dog that only listens, only when you're present, doesn't suddenly gain independence when you leave. It defaults to comfort. And comfort is rarely where livestock are most vulnerable. If you want to know whether your Great Pyrenees is thinking or drifting, run this test. Leave the area quietly. Don't call. Don't interact. Don't cue. Then observe. Where does the dog settle? Where does it choose to watch? Does it reposition with the herd, or does it stay near familiarity? You don't need obedience to answer this. You need observation. Because a real guardian doesn't follow instructions. A real guardian follows responsibility.